Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show, 7-year anniversary. I am your host, Matrix Lord 2 and 2, and I'm with Connor Farley. What's up, Connor?
Hello. It's been a long time.
I know. All this craziness with the pandemic and everything, right?
Yeah. I was gonna say because as I just entered, I forgot about the waiting room, and I was like, I've not been on here
Yeah.
on an Everything Show, Real Hoovians, on a Zoom since before that was a thing,
Yeah.
and that's been a while now. So Jesus, I can't remember the last time I was on here, but yeah, it's good to be back.
Yeah, they did. They did some changes to Zoom because everybody found out what Zoom was. So we used to be doing thousands of them, and now everybody in their household's been doing them. So they made some changes, some security perimeters, whatever that perimeters. So they have like a waiting room, so you can't just get in. You have to get permission, even though you get a link, and then I got to let you in. So what's going on with you in the world over there? How is everything?
Well, we're out of lockdown now.
Okay.
But we're kind of required now to wear, which David I know talked about yesterday. We're kind of required to now wear masks.
Right.
Going into stores, you're allowed in the public to kind of like outside to not wear a mask.
Like us, yeah.
But inside enclosed spaces and shops and stuff like that, you now have to wear a mask or face a fine of £100. So it's a strange world. I left the house for the first time in 3 months since before lockdown started.
Wow.
3 weeks ago, and it's just a completely different world.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable how much it's changed.
It's now when I leave the house, I walk down this busy street and people are eating outside on the sidewalks, on literally the sidewalks that you walk on without
Yeah.
masks. The waiters are serving with masks, and you have to wear a mask if you pass them because like etiquette, even though it's outside and you know you don't have to wear a mask. But if you pass by them while they're eating, you have to wear a mask. And it's ridiculous how they don't allow indoor dining, yet outdoors has become indoors because it's flooded outside with tons of people, which is not social distancing. So it's counterproductive to the virus. And now even the mayor and the governor are, going against that because they're realizing that it's defeating the purpose of the virus and they don't want it to rise. So they've been attacking restaurants. But they won't allow the mall to open. They won't allow the theaters to open. And now they're having lawsuits with them. And they even tried to stop church. And church defeated them in court because church is like, well, if you allow protesters and stuff like that, but you don't allow us to go to church, that's not fair. And the churches won and defeated the governor and the mayor of New York, and now you can go to church. But still, it's been a lot of crazy people just confused with how this virus works. And some are just not wearing masks and they're defying and they're trying to go viral every day by just showing up in a store and fighting people, hoping they become like a YouTuber that's rich. It's an everyday thing. So yeah, it's crazy. Now the movie theaters haven't opened by you either, right? Or no?
They're opening. One of the chains opened on the 24th, so on Friday.
Okay.
The rest of them, which are owned by Regal, which I believe is an American.
Yeah.
They're opening on the 31st, so next Friday.
Now, will you get Tenet? Oh no.
Yes, apparently we're getting Tenet on the 26th of August. So
wow, that's considered a limited release, right?
Yeah, but I think the plan is, from what I gather from that announcement, that it got delayed, and also bits of information that's kind of leaked out since then, is that they're planning on releasing it in Europe at the end of August,
right?
And then they're aiming for Labor Day in America for states where the virus isn't as prevalent and where cinemas are allowed to open. And then they just kind of roll it out to the rest of America as the hopefully the situation in America improves.
Yeah. Well, it's getting New York. They're going backwards, unfortunately. They're paranoid about the virus, and he's starting to take licenses away from restaurants. So there's a lot of lawsuits going on. Even the court system is shut down. They tried to reopen it, but people that have been going to court have been having COVID. So I think that's shut down again. So it's the weirdest thing is that um, they don't have court at all. So I don't understand what's happening there. But anyway, yeah, we heard about Bill and Ted is going to be limited release also the end of August in the theaters, and actually have a September 1st released on video on demand. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that they described it as it's a simultaneous cinema video on demand release, isn't it? I think that's the way of the future.
Yeah.
I think that's how it's going to. The only reason why Tenet is not on video on demand is because it's really a movie that needs to be seen in IMAX. It was shot mostly in IMAX, and also, Christopher Nolan doesn't like the idea of video on demand. He doesn't like anything really digital. He wants, he's very much an advocate for saving the cinema. I think he's kind of been the one that's been most outspoken about it. I know that he did a open letter to, I think it was either the Washington Post or the New Yorker, about how everyone needs to kind of come together and save cinemas. And I know that over the last week, I'm not sure if you saw this, Warner Brothers and the press have kind of been at each other's throats because Warner Brothers accused the press of not working in the best interests of the industry.
Yeah.
Kind of slagging off not just Nolan, but Warner Brothers themselves, and kind of painting them in a bad light for wanting to save cinemas, which is ultimately an industry which these people that are writing these reports are working in because they're entertainment insiders and stuff like that. So they kind of the studios are kind of at war with the press now, which is an interesting.
And the press is at war with. It's not just the movie theaters too. It's the schools. Like certain people want the schools to be closed, which means that the parents can't go back to work full time because they have to be with their children. And you have one end that's saying that to reopen the schools, another end who people don't even have kids in schools are like, no, keep it closed. And there's a lot of people are like worried and everything, but eventually like the kids have to go back to school. It's going to be, everybody's going to be graduating later than they're supposed to and stuff like that. And it's going to affect them, even the small, the kids, like, ages, like for school, grade 1st to 12, for it not to happen at all, that's going to be a problem. So I think there's a lot of people on the internet too that are just making it worse, like being Twitter warriors, just typing and whatever, and they really have nothing to contribute to any of the situations, even actors filming, they're going after actors and movie companies filming, saying it's not social distancing. They're making life difficult for stuff to get done. So what's going on with Bond now? Bond is out next year, or
that's weird. Like it's nothing's been kind of confirmed yet, but the kind of, apparently they're aiming for summer 2021.
Right. Okay.
I think at this point they should do what they did with Bill and Ted.
Right.
To be honest.
Oh, you really think so?
Yeah.
Wow. Because Bill and Ted is sort of like, when you look at it, it might be a hit or miss. And I think that's why they put it on video on demand, because people are expecting it to be one thing and it's looking like it's something else.
Yeah, I mean, I know that the guy runs AT&T, not AT&T, AT&T, and Warner Brothers said something about some movies now you're going to see go straight to streaming because they kind of can.
Right. I mean, this movie looks sort of like they're trying to do like a Force Awakens type of thing where, Bill and Ted are in it, but they're not probably the main thing of it. And like the kids are doing a project in school, like they did a project in school in the first one, and then the kids
Yeah.
die and go to hell, like they died and went to hell in the second one. So this looks like sort of like how Force Awakens they had. It wasn't a Death Star, but it was a Star Killer base, and you had new guys running around with the older guys. It looks like sort of
Yeah.
that type of soft reboot type of thing, where the kids are, the prominent thing when you think it's really should be Bill and Ted. So I don't know, and some people claiming it's woke, and some people claiming this, and I don't know if that would have been well received had it been in the theaters anyway. So it's going to be a limited release, and it's going to be September 1st, which, I'm thinking it's probably leaning towards that. Like it's not going to be what we expect, but we'll see. But
It's like the thing with Bond is that it was supposed to come out 2 years ago.
yeah.
And I think at this point now, even if it's the best movie ever made, which it won't be, I know, but I think that they need to kind of prevent the costs from ballooning even more, because otherwise you're just not going to stand a chance in hell of it being profitable.
They lost a lot of money marketing it for a certain date, and then it didn't come out. Then they marketed it for another date, and it didn't come out. So they got to get it out. But the thing is, like, how much money did they spend on this movie? I mean, if they spent like 250, 300 million or more, it probably won't make that if it goes video on demand. They know that. They're probably going to take a loss.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was just thinking, like, mainly over the Tenet situation. Like, what a headache!
I
would not want to be in the seat of the studio head,
right?
At this point, because like, what a call to make! Like, if Tenet doesn't release, cinemas, the industry might fall apart.
Well, that's what it is. They're looking at him to release
Yeah.
the movie, and if it's not released in the movie, did you see the fallout? They saw everybody starting to delay everything now, like Avatars and Star Wars, and Disney's getting scared. The only thing they didn't announce is that Black Widow is delayed. Now, same thing like Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers is looking at Tenet also, and they're like, should we delay Wonder Woman or not? Now, Halloween said screw it. They don't think it's going to be open in October, so they're done. They're going to next Halloween, 2021. So just about everything is delayed with the exception of them waiting on Black Widow for Disney and Wonder Woman for DC. And the thing is, if Black Widow gets delayed, it's a domino effect because they're so interconnected with their after credit scenes that every single Marvel movie will be delayed again, and Sony movie, because now Sony is part of the MCU and they're all in order. So they will all delay if Black Widow delays even further.
Yeah, it's like they've got Mulan as well, haven't they? To content. So I don't know what the hell they're going to do with that.
Don't know, but they will fall apart. The movie did if they don't open at a certain time.
Over the weekend, I heard that Soul, that Disney Pixar movie, is going to go straight to Disney Plus apparently.
And New Mutants supposedly is going to be a big thing on Disney Plus, supposedly.
Yeah. The only issue is, in that, to be honest, it's a fair point. I haven't seen the movie yet, but apparently it's really bad. Artemis Fowl, when they did that with Artemis Fowl, and that movie's made absolutely no money whatsoever.
Yeah, tanked.
Yeah, terrible.
I heard Scooby-Doo, like I'm trying to figure out if it did well or not. They're like the Scooby-Doo was planning this big reboot of the franchise. They called it Scoob, and they were hoping that this would reinvigorate the franchise so they could do tons of sequels. And now they had to get stuck with throwing it on demand. But I'm hearing rumblings that it was a success enough for them to go ahead and make a sequel. So, I mean, that's good news. It's not what they were expecting, because of course when you go on video on demand, it's a huge drop, right? I mean, they probably can't make what they expect. You can't make like $1 billion, I don't think, on video on demand. So, I think that's why Black Widow won't go video on demand.
Yeah, it's like what was that?
Skyfall made over $1 billion because it's all worldwide. But if you put it on video on demand, it will not come anywhere near that. James
Yeah.
Bond. No
It's
Time to Die.
it's like one of the funny things I saw on Twitter was looking at the release dates now for Avatar, the Avatar sequels.
Yeah,
By the time the fifth one comes out,
yeah.
the first one is going to be 20 years old.
And the thing is that he's taking a risk because he's delayed the second one so long that people might not remember what the hell it is. So he
Yeah,
probably has to re-release Avatar before that happens because now he might have just lost the whole audience. Because the second one tanks, it's over. Like 3, 4, 5 are made already. They have to come out, and it's going to be the biggest. It would be the biggest failure in history if people don't catch on.
it's kind of interesting because I was reading up about they kind of released some information about the Terminator Genesis
Yeah.
trilogy, didn't they? As well, said how
Yes.
how that was going to pan out.
Yeah, and they
And
canceled that, and they went into Dark Fate, and people did not take Dark Fate at all. They did not welcome it, and the moment they killed John Connor, people were done with the series.
it's just crazy now how Star Wars aside,
Yeah.
or Star Trek or stuff like that, trilogies rarely ever get made because
Yeah,
the first one's just not making that. Like most, about 80% of trilogies that were planned
yeah,
over maybe the last 10 years have been cancelled.
yes. Bill and
So
Ted should have been finished a while ago. They should have had their
yeah,
3 movies out a while ago. You know what I'm saying? Now you're coming out so long, so later on, and you're going to still have interest. Same thing like Conan the Barbarian. They've been trying to do this third movie for like decades, and they're probably going to do it like in 5 years from now, and it's not going to be, taken. It's not going to be welcomed 100%. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
Even like there's going to be a Creed 3. That would probably be the exception to the rule because that'd be the one trilogy now that's new. The newest.
yeah.
But
Do you think
Stallone.
Justice League will get a sequel if the Snyder Cut does well?
I from what I'm seeing is like there wasn't really a Snyder cut. There was like little bits and pieces. The fact that he has to get hundreds of millions of dollars to finish it means that he has to create the Snyder cut because there wasn't really enough to be created. And the fact that they had to re-sign every single actor where Ben Affleck is Batman again means that they are really doing a new movie with the older footage of some, you know what I'm saying? So I think if they're going that crazy with it, that it will be sequels to that because they are investing in. They realize that Joss Whedon's version was not welcomed, and they're identifying what the fans want, and they're giving them what they want. But that's going to totally change the whole dynamic because then Zack Snyder's going to be making. He's got his job back basically in DC, and he's going to be making more films to connect
Yeah,
with this.
yeah,
So he's gonna make sure that everything is done the way he wants, and it's gonna go. It was a massive delay, mind you, but they're gonna go back to the way things were. Now, as far as Black Adam goes, I really think they should do a Black Adam versus Superman type of thing. So you kind of get like a sequel to Superman in a way, because sort of like Batman versus Superman. That would be a way to get, because Man of Steel 2, they're like worried about doing it, and a lot of people want to do Man of Steel 2. Wonder Woman is off on her own thing because her movies are in the past. So we're not sure if the third movie is going to catch up to the current DC universe. And now Batman's going all different directions because this Batman movie supposedly it might be in another universe. The Joker thing took off. They got to continue that universe. When Harley Quinn, that last movie didn't do well, what they wanted, yet they are going ahead with a sequel. So, there's a
I
lot of
was
things going.
very pleased by the announcement about that Gotham PD show
Yeah,
because I believe in my mind Batman is DC's best IP
yes.
by far. I think it's the one that they can do the most with,
Yeah, they
and
made
it's
the most
interesting
money
to
with.
see, yeah, it's interesting to see like what they can. I think they've got more spin-offs and stuff planned as well.
Yeah, that
Uh,
Batman new franchise is supposed to be a trilogy.
yeah,
And right now we don't know what the hell's happening because I think they started filming again, if I'm
I
correct.
think I think so. Yeah, they're going to start very soon. And
Same thing
also,
like the Matrix. The Matrix is supposed to be a new trilogy too, but they want to see how this one does. I
I'm,
think
yeah,
that started filming too.
I'm interested to see how Matrix 4 pans out.
Yeah, they just started refilming. So
Yeah, I heard that Keanu Reeves is doing a Constantine sequel as well.
yeah, he's so hot right now that they want him for everything. So
I
I think
think
he's
that
fine.
J.J. Abrams is focusing on Justice League Dark, isn't he? He's doing that kind of.
He just did Lovecraft Country with Jordan Peele.
Oh yeah,
It's a trailer on HBO. It looks really good. We're still waiting for J.J. Abrams to finish his comic book run with Spider-Man. That's been delayed for months. Uh, that's way delayed, and he has plans because he is hired by his company was bought, I believe, by Bad Robot was bought by Warner Brothers. So he's done with Paramount, and he is Star Trek is done with that, and he is unless he produces stuff, but he is going to be trying to do DC stuff, like DC movies, possibly. So
yeah. I saw that there's going to be like a Zatanna origin movie, and then it's going to kind of like go into Justice League Dark and stuff like that. I do hope that Warner Brothers kind of bites the bullet and takes Todd Phillips' suggestion of doing DC Black, where they
right,
kind of do the more grounded, grittier versions of origin stories with
yeah,
characters like the Joker and stuff
yeah,
like that. I'd like to see a Riddler movie.
yeah,
Kind of
yeah. I think Riddler's going to be appearing in the new Batman movie.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It would be good to kind of. There's a lot of kind of properties I think that they can do some good stuff with.
I think they're open to the multiverse like Marvel is, but like they want Michael Keaton to be back with his universe as Batman, as a cameo, and then as a movie.
Yeah, I think they're doing Batman Beyond as well, which is gonna.
Right. Which I mean, why not? If it's popular, why not? I mean, I think people understand there will be different universes, so just go ahead with it.
It will be interesting. Like, I'm very kind of excited. And I'm not. I quite like the DC films, to be honest. I'm more of a DC fan than I am a Marvel. I'm
Yeah.
quite interested to see what they do with this virtual convention, see what they announce, because I think that that's going to
Yeah.
kind of be maybe they've got a plan for maybe the next 10, 15 years that they're going to kind of slowly
I know you
unveil.
can't kind of go to Comic-Con now because of all this, and you have to do virtual stuff with that too.
Yeah,
Which
and I wonder if Marvel's going to catch on to that and do that as well, because
yeah.
we've not got an Eternals trailer yet, have we? We've not got.
No, that and Shang-Chi and then all the Disney Plus, WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier and Loki all delayed. The only thing that's not delayed, it's on track, is The Mandalorian. That's coming out on time, second season. So there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, and Disney Plus is doing really bad because there's no new content. And these other streaming services ain't doing too great either because they're killing each other. There's too many out there. So the new Star Trek stuff isn't well received, and we're wondering what's happening with the movie because it was supposed to be a Quentin Tarantino movie and a regular one. So
Yeah, I saw that they announced a new show on Nickelodeon, didn't they, as well?
yeah, nobody's really taken to it. And then they're trying to bring back franchises like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, live action. We have to see how that's going to be received. So, and Quantum Leap supposedly coming back too. That's another thing. So we'll see what happens. But I know Sylvester Stallone wants to do another Rocky, but not connected to Creed. That's going to be weird. And another Rambo, which, okay. So, all right. So hopefully next time you appear, things will be more settled with this thing. Maybe it'll go away completely, the coronavirus, I hope.
I mean, yeah, if I get to see Tenet, I'll come on and give a non-spoilery kind of.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think.
All right. Thank you very much, Connor Farley, for coming in today. Today's the anniversary of the Everything Show. This is episode 2217. stink 7 years ago. Today we had the first episode. So hopefully we have 7 more years. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Take care. Bye for now.